Thank you, everybody, for joining us for tonight's post-match press conference with
too.
head coach Brian Schmetzer. We'll start here in the room. Hands, Jeremiah, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, Brian, congratulations on the win. What do you think you guys did particularly well in this one? It seemed like the counter was really working.
The counter? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's not just the goals, Jeremiah. I thought the possession in the first half, getting past their pressure, was pretty good too. I mean, you could watch the tape again, but I'll watch the tape on the bus. But the possession out of the back was good. I thought, guys had big performances. I mean, you want to start at the back. You got Steph coming back. He's super motivated to get this tournament off on the right foot, and he did. Jackson had another monster game. Alex was really good. You got Snyder in the middle next to Christian. Excellent. See him wiggle out of things. Pace with the ball to get by people. When defenders are pressing you and you can wiggle out of it, it causes some problems. And then look, I'll skip forward to the storyline of the day. Probably for me is, Paul Arriola. It's a year and a day since he did his ACL, and what a way to come back and start. And again, Jeremiah, it's not just the goals. That's just not it. That's not it. But some of his savvy play, some of his smart defending, helping Nuhu. There were a lot of good soccer plays, soccer experience that helped us in this game. And so Paul, had a really, really good performance, and he scored a couple of good goals.
Next question. No.
Speaking of Jackson, we saw him go down there at the end and was being treated after the match ended. Do you have an update on him?
He's a tough kid. He's fine.
Hands in the room. Jorge.
Coach, in the past, set pieces have been a little bit of a Achilles heel for the Sounders. Still early, but Vancouver had a lot of set pieces, and you still kept a clean sheet. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we made it a point of emphasis. And when Ricardo came and Tommy Dutra, those guys do a lot of work with the film guys to make sure that we understand our opponent's tendencies. And then we've been practicing set pieces both offensively and defensively more at the start of this year. And so you're seeing some of that work translating into good performances on the field.
We'll take hands. Yep, go ahead.
Coach, no one wants to play a home match away from their home stadium. How does this performance and this result help you going into the game in Spokane, where you have the opportunity to embrace the larger Sounder Nation in the wider state of Washington?
Great. That's a fantastic question. I'll answer it in two ways. The first one, the easy one, is yes, we want to go into Spokane, reward some of the Sounder fans that are on the eastern side of our state. There's soccer people everywhere in the Northwest. It's a great soccer culture everywhere. And going there to Spokane kind of reminds me of the USL days. We used to go over to Yakima and places like that and play exhibition games and, stuff like that, do camps over there. So I'll enjoy that trip. I know Craig Weibel, being an eastern part of the state guy, he'll enjoy coming back home. But the soccer part of it, a result like this, helps us a little bit because we don't really know the stadium that well. We're going to go a day early and try and get a feel for it. My good friend Osvaldo Alonso is giving us the red carpet treatment when we get there as part of the ownership group there. But it'll be challenging because it's not really a Lumen Field home game. So the 3-goal cushion certainly is going to help us.
Simon.
Brian, with that lead, especially being that there are away goals that you have scored, obviously you would have seen the Whitecaps having somehow overcome deficits last year on 2 occasions in Mexico. It will be important that you remind your players of the fact that this side is going to be coming at you with a real sense of urgency in that second leg, I would assume.
Well, look, the Whitecaps and Jesper in particular has come and, kind of changed the way the Whitecaps are perceived. they are a top team. And it's credit to him, it's credit to the guys they signed, it's credit to the guys that they've had here for a while that maybe it just switched. You know, sometimes a new voice can get them going a little bit. So credit there. It's also, and this is something we understand, it's CONCACAF. I mean, anybody can watch San Diego play against Toluca. Anybody can watch, today 3-0 here, and then in Cincy. We know the job's not finished. And I want to say that the referees did a fantastic job tonight. I was really pleased, but sometimes you never know. You know, sometimes you get something, or you get a fluke goal that gives life to the opponent. It can go sideways fairly quickly in CONCACAF, and we'll try and prepare our team for that.
We're going to go to a couple questions on Zoom before we circle back for a couple follow-ups in the room. So first, I think we're going to Jada Evans from the Seattle Times via Zoom. Jada, go ahead and ask your question as soon as you're able.
Thanks. Congratulations on the win, Brian, and also good to see you healthy. I wanted to ask a little bit about Arriola. If you could kind of talk a little bit about the reason why he did start. Was it simply because of the injuries, or was there something that you saw in him that wanted you to make that move?
Well, look, Paul Rothrock's injury and Jordan Morris's injury, and those were the things that kind of pushed Paul up the ladder. But I had a conversation with that kid 3 days ago. He wants to play. I'm trying to find minutes for him because he's a very, very good player. With this fixture congestion, Jada, whether I started him tonight or whether he was going to start against San Jose and the Spokane game and then the next game against Minnesota, he was going to see the field. And I'm happy that he came on tonight and performed up to the level that, we saw in Dallas many years. I mean, he was a national team player at one time. So that's the Paul Arriola that Sounder fans are going to be happy with. I know I'm happy, Jada, with his performance.
I think next we'll go to Maz. Oh, Jada, you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I do. With Fry, I'm almost positive there's not much that you need to say, but he had a couple of signature saves today. Was there any kind of conversation as far as this being his first match of the season and being ready for that?
Well, he's always going to be ready. I told you guys that I have 2 starting goalkeepers. So I'm blessed at that position, and Steph had a great game.
All right, I think next we'll go to Maz Vida on Zoom. Maz, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, I know there's a lot of what you can talk about today, but I'm wondering about Jesus and just how his play and your team stayed compact on offensive, defense, and able to do that. And one other one, Antonio Lopez comes on and makes that tackle, the clean tackle that could have been disastrous. How ready was he to step in the game?
Did you ask about Jesus? Okay, Jesus, 4 assists in 4 games, a lot of defensive work. We got Tino on because, look, he might have to start against San Jose, and I wanted to give him a little taste of what it's like. So that was the reason for his entry onto the field. But the kid did well, and he's a talented player, and let's see how the weekend goes.
Last one on Zoom, Felipe Makeda. Go ahead, and then we'll Oh, never mind. We will. That'll be it for Zoom. Any last follow-ups here in the room? Noah, go ahead.
I just wanted to highlight or hear your highlights on Snyder Brunel. I thought he played brilliantly in that midfield, and obviously stepping in. That's love your thoughts.
Well, I think I told you guys already. He's going to make it. He's got super talent, and the kid performed up to a pretty high standard. Now we're just going to have to make sure that he can follow it up, and keep growing because he's a super talented kid.
All right, you want to close this out?
Brian, does the result today change your thoughts on the lineup for Sunday?
No, we're going to San Jose to win.
All righty. Thanks, everybody. That'll conclude tonight's post-match press
everybody.
conference.